featuring Bailey, Reagan, Kayla, Sarah. Vascular plants consist of ferns and seed plants. They have a well-developed vascular tissue, like these plants surrounding. They contain phloem, which help transport xylem, minerals, oxygen, and water. Here we have vascular plants, non-vascular plants on the moss, and this dead little mouse.
Today we're going to talk about vascular plants. For instance, this white Mongolia flower is very common out in nature and in Iowa. It has purple on the inside, and this stem transports water that makes it a vascular plant.
Got some dandelions. They were once vascular, but since I picked them, they're dead.
This is a dandelion. In its seedling stage, it is a vascular plant because it is the second stage of a dandelion's life after budding, where the seedlings can get blown away in the wind or blown by a child to spread and grow somewhere else. And children often make wishes. Marty, please pass me. This is a deciduous tree. It has leaves,
And more leaves!
everywhere. It has bark that falls off, and it gets its water source from the roots in the ground. And lucky enough, it's right next to a river, so it
Can
should never
soak
be.
up
Yeah.
some of that water.
This is grass! These are deciduous trees!
And these are coniferous trees.
And that, my friends, is
Dead.
These deciduous trees behind me lose their leaves during winter months because of the cold, and growing season is dormant, and gain leaves during the spring when the moisture is back and the sun is out and they can start photosynthesis.
These are coniferous trees. They have needles instead of leaves, so they are all year round trees.
Commonly known as Christmas trees.
These plants are vascular because they have specialized tissue and phloem and xylem.
All these vascular plants are vascular because of special tissues that bring water and food, aka glucose or sunlight, to make this beautiful view. Me. As you can see, these roots travel far into the dirt to get the water source that they need. Luckily enough, it is close to the river, so that it doesn't have to travel very far down under. But as you can see, the river has eroded some of and washed away the dirt and the soil along the side to make the roots visible. Thanks, Reagan.
Both non-vascular and vascular plants, such as trees, provide oxygen for the atmosphere, and they both provide food and shelter for animals, such as this little mouse. May it rest in peace.
And this old rusty tin can from I don't know when that's just creepily out in the middle of this pasture. There are some vascular and non-vascular plants in here. There are mosses along the floor, and there's some really old bottles. Yeah.
Liquor bottles.
No. Do you know? Really? You would know. All right. But they're just smaller plants and mostly non-vascular. There's a lot of moss along the ground because with this, there's not a lot of sunlight that can reach down in there. So it just mostly has to survive off the moisture from the ground which is mostly what vascular plants use to live anyway.
This is a non-vascular plant. They reproduce sexually by creating single-celled spores, and they reproduce asexually by part of the plant breaking off.
While looking at these roots of these vascular trees, we found this non-vascular moss growing on this vascular tree. You will find non-vascular plants like moss by water or in swampy areas.
These plants are non-vascular because they do not have roots, and they reproduce asexually and sexually.
Luckily enough, we found this non-vascular plant.
Yeah, but Kayla needs to leave because there's not much room. Because it doesn't have specialized tissues.
This carpet moss is non-vascular because it grows around damp areas such as this river flowing next to us. And it has a process called osmosis.
Non-vascular plants do not have phloem, xylem, and they lack roots. Just like this little moss right here. And that's a wrap on our video.
Okay, this is how we're gonna do.
Guys, geese!
Switch.
What?
There's geese!
Those are non-vascular animals.
Called
know-
birds.
Oh look! I found Bambi's trail to the non-vascular and vascular plants. Right out to see the window. Come! Run! With me, my children!
For future reference, Jesse is Bailey's father. While running away from softball practice, I noticed this non-vascular plant called a mushroom. A shroom!
Yum!
In the ground.
Both non-vascular and vascular plants, such as trees, provide oxygen for the atmosphere, and both provide food and water for animals. Food and water.